Brought to you by BlackMagic Design, the world's highest quality products for the feature film, post and broadcast industries. BlackMagicDesign.com, the Tonkawa Film Festival, celebrating short films from around the world. Tonkawafilmfestival.com. And by Dehancer. Use the promo code RABBIT to receive 10% off Dehancer products. Dehancer.com.
Hello again, it's Jason Godbey from No Rest for the Weekend. We got another review from this year's Brooklyn Horror Fest. Here's Yasin Lago with his review of Boorman and The Devil.
This is a study of what happened when John Boorman made the movie The Exorcist 2, The Heretic.
Interesting. Okay.
It's a documentation of the hell that went into making the movie about what happened after hell.
And for a lot of people, just to give some background, Exorcist 2 is not everyone's favorite Exorcist movie.
Actually, it's probably infamously considered one of the worst sequels of all time.
This is the sequel to The Exorcist, which is made by William Friedkin. Classic, one of the greatest horror movies ever made. Even though I'm not the horror buff that you are, it's up in my top 10, top 5 horror movies ever.
I think it's one of the greatest films of the 70s.
Arguably, absolutely. Yeah. And made by the guy who made French Connection. The history is there, and it was revolutionary. I'm a big Dick Smith fan, who did the makeup for Exorcist. It's an amazing film. But then they made a second one.
With a lot of good intentions, Boorman wasn't interested necessarily in making more Exorcist. He wanted to take the story further and take the whole idea of maybe this thing touching, this girl, then brought her into a place where she can develop into this otherworldly, supernatural, ethereal being sort of thing. There's a whole intention to make this movie the furthering of the touching of the supernatural and going outside and this otherworldly thing that they wanted to get into.
For this film, do we have Max von Sydow? Do we get Ellen Burstyn? Are they all in the film?
Okay, well, here's the thing. Max von Sydow was part of it, but a very small part of it. He was in there for some shoots. He was there for the promotional. The movie took a long time to get going, and once it got going, then there was. In the beginning, it was on time, and then slowly but surely, bit by bit, it was off schedule. Past too many days of shooting. So Max von Sydow was there for some shots, and then really to cover the whatever past shots that they were kind of redoing. There were some shots of the end of the first movie that they wanted to sort of recreate and do some really interesting mirroring this is a hard word, effects. When they go into the effects in the movie, it's really interesting. The idea, what he was trying to do, the whole set, the lighting, and how one room there was a whole bunch of glass rooms connected to each other, and how the lighting would go dark in the room that the camera is in, and then would go up into the other. There was just so many great lighting ideas, and so many different effect ideas that were great. And then there were a couple of ones that were laughable, even on set. So there was a lot of different great ideas that was happening. As far as which actors showed up, Ellen Burstyn wanted nothing to do anything else. She felt it was done. Linda Blair, they got, and was paying her to the point that at that point she was the highest paid actress in Hollywood.
Wow.
For a brief moment, she was coming to set apparently like she knew she was the star.
I see.
So she would, show up.
She would later be humbled drastically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But when it came to that movie, she was. Now, mind you, she had I don't want to say competition, but she had an example to show up late and
to sort of be a diva.
To diva out, and that had, I think, a lot to do with her co-star. Richard Burton.
Right.
Richard Burton has some hilarious tales in this movie that it's almost worth the movie just to hear about the hijinks of Richard Burton.
He was a character.
He was a character. He
was also a infamous alcoholic.
He was a notorious drinker, and there are stories about that. The problem, I think, was that he was still very charming. The people on set still would talk about him with like reverence, like he was he's a lovely man when he was there. Then there was times when it's like, okay, let's do a read. I don't know, what this? Here's the read. I don't know. I've got to go, and then he would run out, and then run back in, and run out, I don't want to spoil stories, so
Yeah.
I won't try to explain this.
It
stuff,
sounds like
but
a production nightmare.
it was hilarious. Louise Fletcher was in this at this point, famous for Nurse Ratched and playing someone a little bit different.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
World's Cuckoo's Nest.
One Best Actress for that. Tremendous performance.
Yes. Yeah. So
these are heavy hitters right now.
They have some like some really
and
great.
John Boorman is no slouch either.
No.
Like John Boorman has quite the filmography himself.
Yes. Just to let you know that this is not just some sort of hack. This wasn't a guy, even like some sort of conceited Hollywood director that was, going over budget, just to do it. The movie by some accounts is cursed or was cursed, and they bring that up during the film as well.
I mean, people said that about The Exorcist as well.
Right. Yeah. Well,
and there's great stories about the making of that movie.
Yes. I mean, if you look up John Boorman's catalog, you'll see that, he did recover from this. But in the movie, you find that he almost died.
John Boorman
John Boorman himself had
Wow.
contracted, like, there was a disease. There was a couple of scenes where they had this sand machine going. And he apparently contracted something breathing in this sand.
Oh God!
That had knocked him out for weeks. The movie goes into literally the hell that went into making the movie about what happened.
I'm always fascinated by this stuff. This is definitely something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
By the way, just for reference for people who don't know John Boorman, I was just looking him up. I remember this, but I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
He directed probably his biggest movie before that would have been Deliverance with John Voight and Burt Reynolds.
Because it's a seminal one as far as like even in horror, it reaches into like it influenced Carrie. It influenced there's a couple of movies that what's called, and that's saying a lot that he's most known for Deliverance. Because the movie he did, I think 2 movies he did before that was Point Blank with Lee Marvin. And if you've ever seen that, if you've never seen it, Mike, stop what you're doing and watch this. I mean, those 2 movies I think are absolute for cinephiles.
Yeah, and he's also the director of Excalibur, which has a cult-like following. Excalibur.
The documentary. If you think you're not, I don't know how interested I am in Exorcist 2, you are. If you're interested in filmmaking, if you're interested in John Boorman, if you're a horror fan, if you're interested in studio filmmaking in the 70s, if you're interested in documentaries, David Kittredge has made a really, really, really entertaining movie about a disaster of a movie.
I love,
to the point that you may go back and actually watch Exorcist 2 just to get the whole thing.
Earlier this year, they re-released Hearts of Darkness: A Filmmaker's Apocalypse, which is the greatest movie about the making of a movie ever made, in my opinion. There's been so many great movies about the making of movies.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm such a film nerd, I'm definitely going to check this one out.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about
It's
this one.
worth it.
All right, so that's all we got for right now. Once again, if you want to read these reviews, you can check them out on the website, norestfortheweekendpodcast.com. You can find our podcast, the No Rest for the Weekend podcast, on the major podcast platforms and on YouTube. You can find these videos on YouTube, youtube.com/getbehindtherabbit. So be sure to subscribe there. And I don't know if you know this, but we have a Patreon. The Patreon at btrpmedia.com. And not only can you follow us there for free if you want to, you can also support us there, but you're going to find all of the other great BTRP Media Network programming there, including shows like Homebodies Only and videos from actuallypaid.com by William Hammond, who you've seen on this show. But thanks, man. Thanks for doing this. This is another one out of Brooklyn Horror Fest. For Behind the Rabbit Productions and the BTRP Media Network, I'm Jason Godbey. Thanks for joining us once again. We'll see you next time.
This is the BTRP Media Network.